Yo, so guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to how America's hottest city is trying to cool down. And this just popped up on my feed. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know what to expect from this reaction, but we're gonna see. Because I mean, what can a city do? I know Dubai is, they made like fake rain to like combat how hot it was, which is crazy in itself. But I don't know if that would be a thing in the US if they'd make fake rain. Because obviously, I mean, where is it? So it says, can trees help Phoenix from extreme heat? So I guess that ruins the video. But it's in Phoenix, which is Arizona. Which makes sense because Arizona is a very, very hot place, obviously. But yeah, we're going to see. I mean, it says trees. So maybe it's to do with trees. I don't know. But yeah, links in the description to my Instagram and my Twitter if you want to follow me on those. Same for my Patreon. Links are all there if you're interested in that. I recently did a PO box opening of me opening things sent from you. If you want to send me stuff and you want me to open it in a future video, I've posted my PO box in my community feed. I posted it on my Instagram if you want to send me anything. But yeah, man, let's just jump into this. I'm actually really tired, so if I seem a bit all over the place, I'm exhausted.
I'm looking at a map of surface temperatures in the Phoenix metro area. So this is in Arizona in the southwest US, and it shows how hot the ground is in June. And this is a map of child poverty rates. Darker blue means more poverty. So this is heat, and this is poverty.
Oh shit.
Heat, poverty.
It's quite similar.
Poverty. The correlation is pretty obvious.
So you're dealing with the heat, and you're living in poverty. How do you combat it? I assume there's not even like aircon or anything. Oh, that sounds like hell, man. But is aircon like a thing that everyone has in the US, or is it like the privileged people have it? Or I say the privileged people have it, or people with a decent income? Like, would someone who's considered it to be in poverty, would they have aircon? That sounds like a stupid question, because in the UK, no one really has it other than very, very wealthy people. And I mean, I don't know how it would work in the US. I guess it will be a lot different because it is just sort of a lot more normal to have aircon. But people under the poverty line or in poverty, would they have it? I assume not, which is why this video is being made.
This is where it becomes clear that climate change and wealth inequality are not really separate issues. And you can probably find examples of that wherever you go in the world. But for this story, I went there.
An excessive heat warning is in effect.
Warmer is the new normal in Phoenix.
The city grappling with an increase in heat-related deaths.
Phoenix last year hitting 100 degrees or higher for more than 144 days.
Climate change is one.
Huh? Wait, what? Fahrenheit to... Oh my... What? For 144 days. And it's over this? Fuck. Oh no, that is ridiculous. What?
One factor causing rising temperatures. Urban development is the other.
I couldn't deal with that.
The forecasted high that day was 112 degrees Fahrenheit.
So that's like the average, so it's obviously a lot higher usually as well. 44! It doesn't get that hot ever in like where I live now. What?
Fahrenheit. That's 44 degrees
There we go.
Celsius. But in reality, some areas can feel warmer or cooler than that. So here I am in a neighborhood with some of the hottest surface temperatures. But when I drove 8 miles north of there, I was in one of the coolest parts of Phoenix.
What?
And it was...
What? So this is where the trees come into play, I guess.
I was in one of the coolest parts of Phoenix. And it was in the hot neighborhood where I met up with Eva Olivas. She's a local community advocate and a Phoenix native. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Can you tell me a little bit about this neighborhood and who lives here?
So the community of Central City South is located just south of the downtown business district. The average income level for a family of four is about $19,000. The vehicle ownership rate is between 23-28% of the population.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very low. So they're very dependent on public transportation.
This zip code has the highest rate of heat-related illnesses in the city. What makes people here vulnerable to extreme heat?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. We have the freeway, we have the railroad tracks on the north, We have the airport on the east, so we're like a little pocket.
A lot of pavement.
A lot of concrete, a lot of...
Bro, look at this. It's so dry. What the fuck?
Industry here. A lot of our streets, as you can see, don't have sidewalks. You're having to walk in the street like we are.
What? There's not even sidewalks? I mean, I see there's not sidewalks, but why wouldn't you walk on here? This area here, I mean, there's nothing stopping you unless it's like really stony or whatever.
And there's not a lot of shade. If you can look around, you don't see a lot of trees.
This is the Sonoran Desert, so of course the summers are hot. But it also seems like this entire city was almost designed to capture heat. The streets are so wide. This isn't a highway, this is just the Phoenix grid. And the buildings are so flat and set back from the sidewalk, so they don't create much shade at all. And then there's the parking lots. I read one estimate that there are more than 4 parking spots for every car in Phoenix.
Fuck me. Bro, this is wild. Like, you're seeing how widely spread out this city is. Where I live, bro, you don't get any of this. It's all like so condensed. So you've got shade and all this kind of stuff. So when it's really hot, you'll still be able to catch moments of just relaxation, moments of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, relief from the heat that is around you, from the sun that is blasting you. And at the same time, for me, that's like 30 degrees Celsius. For people here, that's at least 40 degrees Celsius, probably more. Like, what?
Phoenix. The sun just beams into all that pavement, and it doesn't just roast anyone who happens to be walking across it, it's also transferring heat to the air day and night. Wow, I really did that poorly. Also, I promise this is not a Chevy ad, I just borrowed my dad's car. So, what do you do to try to mitigate heat in a city like this? Well, reflective roofs can help a bit. The thermal image shows the surface temperature of the dark roof is hotter than the white ones, and the city has also tried painting some roads with a more reflective coating. But if you compare the hottest and coolest neighborhoods, it's pretty clear that the big difference between them isn't the black or white surfaces, it's the green ones. Plants are the variable that connects this map of heat to this map of poverty. And studies have confirmed that the cooling effect of cool roofs and cool pavements, it's smaller than the cooling effect of trees.
One of the best ways to beat the urban heat.
The more trees you plant, the more benefits.
Cleansing for the air.
Reduced carbon footprint.
Lower levels of stress.
Decrease energy costs.
Stormwater management. It's a very important engine of cooling.
If you take an area that's just parking lots and buildings and cover at least a quarter of the space with trees, you can lower air temperature.
Wait, what? So
just parking lots and buildings and cover at least...
This is in 2005, and then 15 years later, 16 years later.
A quarter of the space.
Wow. Okay.
With trees, you can lower air temperatures there by around 8 degrees Fahrenheit or 4.4 degrees Celsius. That's according to a study from Arizona State University. For those who are used to humid summers, it can be hard to understand just how much relief shade provides in a dry heat. You can easily see the temperature difference on my arms and on the concrete there. So the city of Phoenix has committed funds to planting more trees. They want all neighborhoods to reach a minimal level of canopy cover by 2030. And I love the idea of recruiting an army of trees to protect the vulnerable from extreme heat. But there's a problem. Outside of parks and along major streets, the urban forest currently depends not...
That looks beautiful, man. This is awesome. Look how green it is. This is incredible, man. That looks so like... that is beautiful, bro. God,
not on public resources, but on private ones. What would it take for a street like this one to become one of those shady tree-lined streets that they have uptown?
Well, any tree that's planted in this neighborhood in front of someone's home, they would have to maintain. The city does not maintain them in front of these residential areas.
I see.
Really?
Okay. So there are some utility companies here that will give you a couple of free trees if you agree to plant them on the west side or the south side of your home, because eventually that can end up saving something like 30% on your air conditioning bill. But it sounds like that doesn't really solve the maintenance issue.
Correct, because there's that trade-off between shade or increased water bill. But it's the cost of maintaining the trees that is challenging. obviously in a very low income neighborhood like ours, and it's not a priority for them in their family, in their home.
Right. Are there no programs that are actually going to take on the watering cost?
Zero. That is the responsibility of the homeowner. And you have to remember, what did I say? These are mostly renters.
This is such a wild look. It's just so open. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Are most US cities this sort of open? Again, maybe not to this degree, but are they just a lot wider? From what I've seen, like the sort of spacing, because the US is so big and the area can be used up like a lot. Sort of, it doesn't have to sort of be so put like close together because there's so much area to use, so much land to use. Should I say? I mean, I just guess most cities are like this in the US, just so sparsely sort of. Buildings just sparsely located.
I walked with Eva along Buckeye Road where there's a big triangular lot. It's owned by the city and has been left unplanted.
Why? Why though? Why?
She said that would probably change with the city's new tree equity plans, but she also hoped for some more basic things, like sidewalks and shade shelters for all the
Yeah, it's crazy how there's not sidewalks on every road. Like what?
Bus stops. It was a reminder that wealth already affects access to infrastructure. Even infrastructure that doesn't have to be watered and pruned. And that's what will have to change if cities like Phoenix want to make sure that the heaviest burdens of climate warming don't fall on those who are least prepared to withstand them.
Wow, this is an interesting one. Quite a short video, but I learned quite a bit. And I mean, if you're from Phoenix, can you sort of vouch for this? Like, is it as hard dealing with like the summers there as it sort of seemed in this video? I hate not being able to walk my dog till after the sun sets here in Phoenix. See, that's a crazy sort of situation that I couldn't even understand being where I'm from. This is the best box video in a while. Amazing work. The fact the hottest city in the US is called Phoenix. Born and raised here, I remember my house always having orange and lemon trees in the backyard. My dad planted a giant tree in the front too. I never thought as to why it always felt cooler on my property than it did it in my friends' dirt lot backyards until now. I mean, yeah, I didn't really think about it either. Like, trees really making it that much cooler. Like, I understand the shade side of things, but I didn't really factor in that. It would just help in general. Also, biologically speaking, trees do not only cool through shade. Trees sweat out water at the leaves in a process called transpiration. It cools the air around the leaves. Yeah, man, trees are just going for trees are just the MVP for sure, because they just fucking help in every situation. And they're pretty, but yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this reaction. Like I said, if you're from Phoenix, let me know like what sort of what you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, because this sounds like a living hell. And the fact that people who are struggling the most are dealing with these kinds of issues as well, and just sort of being shunned upon or whatever, like just not being helped with this kind of thing, is kind of baffling, but just shows how we are in the world. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy this reaction, and yeah, until next time, like, subscribe, peace.